What's happening, fight fans? Welcome back to the MMA Mindset Wolkernite Fight Championship 9. I don't know why I got confused there because there's been so many in such a short period of time. But yeah, Wolkernite Fight Championship 9 on the 26th of July. Unbelievable card. If you saw our post earlier on, you will have seen that it was going to be one of our most, especially in the K1 section, stacked cards. So yeah, going to be unbelievable. Tickets in the link in the description, or go through the fighters. Make sure that you can get tickets through them. And if you cannot attend, livemma.co.uk for the pay-per-view. But yeah, speaking of K1, speaking of the stacked card that we've got coming to you, I'm joined by Sam Elliott. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you. Yeah, doing good. Looking forward
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah, good. Well, yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to. Obviously, we've got that MMA tournament, and then we've got so many good K1 fights. We've got boxing title fights, so a real varied combat sports card that we've got to bring to you. But obviously, making your second outing now, moved away from the debut, so obviously the nerves have settled a little bit. How are you feeling heading into this one, and any different from your first fight?
Oh yeah, definitely. So the first fight was definitely much more of a learning experience. Just sort of seeing how I'd get on, if it was really definitely the sport for me. And thankfully after that fight, I realised it is the sport for me in the one-on-one. So for this one, it's a lot more. It's a lot less like just go in there, see how you feel. I'm going in to win for this one. I've been training harder, healthier diet. Yeah, just doing everything a million times better than I was for the last one.
Yeah, well, you're saying that you were trying to make sure that it was definitely the sport for you. I've seen people, amateurs that I knew who went 2-0, 3-0 in their career, and then they just stopped because despite the fact that they were undefeated and won three in a row, it just wasn't for them. So, kind of having that mentality that you want to be doing this, that's quite a strong mindset to have. Obviously, you said that you learned a lot from your debut. What sort of thing did you kind of learn maybe about the pre-fight process, not the actual fight itself?
The pre-fight, I thought, sort of sounds weird to say, but I think for my last one, I was almost too relaxed. Building up to it, there wasn't as much. So I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, but I didn't feel like I put enough on there. I sort of went in there with the mindset of, oh, it's my debut. Let's see how this goes, which I do regret not doing. And yeah, just sort of not being as, I guess, more static with how I fought back then. I was very much, this is how I fight. This is how I'm going to fight. No matter what happens, I'm going to stick to this game plan. And yeah, that didn't serve me well for the fight. So just being a bit more pressure on me, get the mind going a bit quicker. And yeah, just hoping to mix up a bit in there as well.
Yeah, some nerves are good, but it's kind of about finding that balance
Yeah, yeah.
between not having any nerves and then being too nervous as to the point where you're kind of second guessing yourself
hmm
and reacting to stuff that you shouldn't be reacting to. So, in terms of inside the gym leading up to this fight, is there anything that you've kind of been focusing on, or anything that you're trying to implement into your game?
Yeah, pressure, putting on more pressure. My last fight, I spent probably 90% of it moving backwards. And that's just tiring. That's just tiring. Fighting is at the best times is tiring. So just doing everything I can to not tire as quickly. So I've been focusing on my cardio a lot more with this fight. Getting a bit more size on me. Hopefully work on the power and yeah, just pressure and keep my hands up. That's also a big thing for my last one.
Yeah.
They were down quite low for the most of the fight. So yeah, I was just getting hit with shots I'd see coming. But now, yeah, trying to keep them up as well.
Yeah, well, I kind of fell into this trap when I was younger and I was having my first like few interclubs and stuff of trying to replicate people that I saw on telly. So
hmm
I would have my hands down and I'd be trying to move backwards and fire perfect counter shots, looking for those lovely shots. But then you realise quite pretty quickly that these people that you watch have got unnatural abilities. You need to find out
Yeah.
what works for yourself.
Mhm.
Going into this fight, obviously, have you seen much of your opponent? Do you know much about him, or is that not something that you're kind of focusing on at this particular point?
Yeah, I'm not focusing on that. I know sort of who he is and where he trains, but that's about it. I'm not really familiar with how he fights. So yeah, I'm just trying to keep it focused on me, my performance, and my ability in there.
Yes, it's the best way to go for me until you start going for like title fights and stuff like that. Focusing on yourself is definitely the way forward. When did this journey start with you? Because I know, like you said, you've had one previous bout, but when did the whole kickboxing martial arts journey start for yourself?
Oh, I did martial arts has been probably a massive part of my life for well over a decade now. So I started karate when I was very young, worked all the way up to a black belt with that. and then did traditional Japanese jiu-jitsu for I think 2 years. Yeah, 2 years, and then just realised I just prefer to keep it on the feet, standing, striking. Then on my third, fourth year of kickboxing now. So that's sort of my journey. It's always been part of my life. It was really only sort of since I stopped my karate and took up the jiu-jitsu, I've really wanted to sort of make something out of it.
Yeah. Do you think the sort of the backing off and the hands low comes from that karate style? Because you see like people who in the UFC, like Wonderboy Thompson, they were always kind of going backwards and the hands were low to fire like kind of shots from the hip. Do you think that's kind of where that's come from, especially in that first fight?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. In that first fight, I definitely fought more like a karate athlete than a kickboxing athlete. So I really appreciate my karate training. It has helped me massively with sort of kicks and just sort of composure. But karate works best when you're also fighting someone who's only doing karate. When someone's coming at you with a heavy Muay Thai stance, doesn't bode so well.
No, exactly. In terms of what you're wanting to kind of achieve in the sport, is it sort of an aspiration to transfer over to MMA, or are you very much kickboxing focused and that's kind of where you want to be?
To be honest, I'm not sure. Both appeal to me massively. Obviously, MMA is especially just my group of friends, my social circle. MMA is the bigger one with the UFC. But kickboxing, yeah, I love it. So I'm more than happy to do either one.
Yeah, and in terms of the rest of the year, you wanted to have a quite active second half of the year because obviously this fight will be in about 4 weeks' time.
Yes. I was looking to get a fight in May, then personal situations just got in the way. That one had to be cancelled. So a bit later, July's a bit later than what I originally anticipated for my first fight in the year. But my coach is saying Wolkernite, I think they're having another one October time.
Yeah.
Could be wrong. Yeah, so hopefully make a quick turnaround and get one in for October, aiming for hopefully 2 or 3 this year.
Yeah, well, that's going to be Wolkernite 10 as well, which is going to be our biggest card that we've ever put on. We've got obviously the final of the bantamweight tournament going on, and we've got so many good plans. So I'd imagine people will want to get on that card.
Yeah.
So that'd be great. What do the sort of next few weeks look like for you then? Like winding up the training and then obviously getting to the initial fight week.
Yeah. So next few weeks, sort of doing less weight training in the gym, keeping my muscles as fresh as I can, and just smashing out cardio. And then probably 2 weeks before, really slow it down, and just sort of focus on making the weight and getting mentally ready for it.
Yeah, and in terms of on the night, I know obviously we don't know too much about your opponent in terms of what he's going to bring, but what can we expect from yourself on the night?
From me, I'm always there for a entertaining fight. I want to go forwards, put it on him a bit, and just put on a show for the crowd.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's what we like, and that's what kind of gets you noticed as well. Whether I feel like if you have a fight that's a bit boring to the casual eye and stuff, regardless of whether you win, you can kind of sometimes come out of with less stock than if you have an absolute war that you very narrowly lose. So yeah, it's always good to put on a fight. Obviously winning's good, but putting on a good fight and getting that experience is even better. So Sam, thank you very much for coming on, mate. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak to me.
No, thank you so much for having me. It's been a great time.
Not a problem. Make sure, like you said, you do tune into this card. It's going to be unbelievable. And like I said, tickets in the description, or go to the fighters. Make sure you get tickets through them because there is plenty of tables and tickets available through the fighters. They have their tickets. But livemma.co.uk for the pay-per-view, and go over, follow our Instagram because there'll be fight day content on there, pre-fight interviews, face-offs, all that good stuff. But yeah, once again, Sam, all the best, and I will see you in July.
No worries. Can't wait for it.
Magic. Thank you very much, mate. Cheers.
Bye-bye.